Hey, this is Jared.
And this is Eli.
And this is Sports Jabber with the Lefties.
If you guys enjoy our content, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment down below topics for future podcasts. And if you have friends or family who care about the New York Jets or just sports in general, go ahead and share our channel to them.
Okay, so today we're going to do a post-game talk. We'll just talk about the Jets versus the Patriots. Very exciting game. Actually, it was. It kind of sounded sarcastic, but it actually was a pretty exciting game.
Like, throughout the game, I was entertained throughout the entire game. Honestly, from all the primetime games, I watch every single primetime game every Monday, every Thursday, Sunday night. That was the most entertaining primetime games I've seen all year, if not the most. It was back and forth. Yeah, I was getting very stressed. In fact, after halftime, I had to step out for a little bit because, I'm biased. I actually wanted the Jets to lose, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be it. The Patriots are going to actually beat them, and Bill Belichick's going to get us again without getting the draft pick. It was a close game. They were going at it. Obviously, I'm listening to a lot of podcasts this morning. People are just reports, and people are all upset that they kind of blew it in the fourth quarter, which they did. You want to talk about it a little bit? Yeah. So this is how we felt. They were lining up for the kick. I remember we were watching it. I called you up. I said they're kicking the field goal or whatever. Actually, you watched the last drive with me, and I remember we were hoping for the field goal. And we see it goes in, and the second it goes in, we just start yelling. We just jump up and go, yeah.
Yeah. The Patriots.
That was the feelings. We wanted the Patriots to win. Almost all Jets fans across the nation. They're terrible.
They're horrible. I guess, we're so used to, as Jets fans watching the Patriots just dominate and be so good. But, boy, dude, they stink. Honestly, like.
The Jets look better.
With Joe
Flacco.
Yeah, they don't look. I don't know how many games they're going to win. Maybe 5 games. They'll have a good draft pick, but Cam Newton, I don't know. I feel like he's doing a lot of run plays. I was watching it, and he doesn't look like. I thought, honestly, if you looked at the beginning podcast, I thought he was going to be better than he is, and he just really doesn't have it. I don't know.
I was right.
Yeah, maybe he might get back into it, but I don't even know. I think they'll draft a quarterback. I don't think they'll take him for another year.
I think what's going to happen is they'll get around pick 10, 15. They'll be out of the Lawrence Field sweepstakes. Personally, Lance? I think Lance is going to be gone by that. There's a lot of teams that need a quarterback. Let me just pull up the
honestly,
draft
the way they look, listen, they won 3 games, right? So they're 3-8. So, what do you think they're going to go 6? How many games are they going to win? 6 games? 5 games?
I don't know. Their schedule is as hard as ours.
I think they're going to. Yes, I think they're going to get a top 10 pick.
Right now,
the way they look,
they're picking 13.
Yeah, but as it goes along, I'm telling you, I think they're going to get a top 10 pick.
But when
they got another game against the Jets. Did they finish playing Miami? They got Buffalo, right?
Their schedule's hard.
But
I don't see Lance where they pick though.
I was watching that game, and the Jets were really, for the 3 quarters, they were dominating them, and then of course they did the Jets thing, and they blew it. But they were dominating them for 3 quarters. And this is the Jets. This is the laughingstock of the NFL. And this is the best I've seen except for the Denver game. But the Denver, they look
better than Denver. They look better than the Denver game.
But I'm saying to you is like that game was close. But to be fair, Denver had only 4-day turnaround to come to New York. That was a tough game. There's no excuse for the Patriots. They just, we were watching all these games, and I was like, wow, they are bad. They are just bad. And so they're going to have a top 10 pick. And I'm telling you, I don't think they're going to re-sign Cam Newton.
I want to talk about this for a minute, all right? Because when you look at the draft order, a lot of teams before them need a quarterback, right? Right now, the Jets have 1, Lawrence. 2, Jacksonville. I think they take Fields personally.
Yes.
In Dallas, I don't think they take a quarterback. The Giants, I don't think they reach for Lance. I don't see them. I see them sticking with Daniel.
I don't think they would.
I think if Fields or Lawrence is there, they take him. But I don't think they take a quarterback. Then Washington
needs a quarterback.
I think that's where Lance goes, assuming that's the order. I say Lance goes there. The Chargers don't need a quarterback. Miami, Cincinnati. Then I could see Carolina because Teddy Bridgewater is not a long-term fit. Let's be real.
Well, but the question is will they re-sign Cam?
At this rate, no. They'll probably end up getting a guy like Kyle Trask or Zach Wilson.
And Cam is not looking good for. I know he just wanted the 1 year of the pay. I think he was hoping that he would do 1 year, look really good, and then get a new contract. But honestly,
well, no, I think it's what it is. They were the only team that offered him anything.
No, they offered him like $1 million. No, I'm sure there were 1 or 2 teams that probably offered him a low amount, In fact, I think I'm pretty positive there was a team that offered him more, but I think he took the Patriots because he wanted. Listen, he figured if I go to the Patriots, they have Bill Belichick, they have a good team. I'll win. I'll get into the playoffs. I'll look good. I'll take because he just had like a $1 million like a bare minimum contract. I'm telling you, teams have offered more because he wanted a lot of money, and then nobody offered him what he wanted. So I think he just took the Patriots just like a 1 year. Maybe he figured maybe I could win a Super Bowl, with the Patriots, look really good, and then I could move on. And that's not happening. And I don't think. I mean, I'm kind of making some stuff up. I don't know exactly, but I don't think they're going to sign him, and I don't know who's going to pay him good money next year because he doesn't look good at all.
Belichick is losing it. I think he's focusing too much on his Subway commercials and not enough on football. The play calling, because normally I don't
like Subway, so I get upset with Subway. I really
he does not like Subway at all.
I mean, if you guys have Subway, I'm like I won't eat. I'd rather starve. If there was Subway or starvation,
you're very passionate about this.
I would go with starvation. I would lose like 50 pounds. I cannot more Subway. So I think the Subway is really affecting his brain. It could be a Subway crisis.
It could be, but when you look at it,
I didn't think about that. But now I'm nervous.
I think their play calling has always been quite good. New England's. I never was like, what are you doing? Right? Like,
you know what? I wonder if they're just trying to fit him into their. Like I was listening to the announcers and stuff as they were talking. I feel like I don't know if they're trying to fit him into kind of what Tom Brady is, and I don't think that's working. I think you need to play to his strengths, and I feel like they're trying to put like a square peg in a round hole type thing. And I think they're trying to do him in the Patriots way instead of going more toward the Cam Newton way. And I think that's a problem.
Yeah, the problem is they want to do these short routes. That's not Cam Newton. Cam Newton runs or throws deep.
I think they want him to be a Tom Brady.
Yes.
And he's not a Tom Brady.
Because you see, I watched
he looks like he's trying to be Tom Brady.
Yes, and with his feet. I think it was Brian Grease or Steve Levy, one of the guys, announcers, they showed every time his feet are lateral, which was what Tom Brady did a lot, right? Because that's how you need to do it. He throws in the accurate passes. Because he can't throw that way. He's just not designed like that.
I think he likes to, he's more explosive, and I feel like they're trying exactly to do like a Tom Brady, like a more of a pocket. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think that's his problem. I think that's why he's not looking that good. I don't think who's the offensive coordinator? It's who. It's
Josh McDaniels.
I don't think he's, which, everybody loves Josh McDaniel. I don't think he's that good. I mean, he
sucked in Denver.
Yeah, and I don't think I think it's more Bill. Everybody thinks I think Tom Brady made him that good.
So now all of a sudden,
I am honestly.
I think I'm switching too.
Well, I'm going to have to go. Here's what I have to go by. I have to go by this year. We said it, and Tom Brady's not a young pup, so he goes to a different team,
and he's looking good.
He looks good.
Well,
Bill Belichick loses Tom Brady. Now, to be fair to the Patriots, and a lot of their players opted out this year.
And they have no one. Like their roster, they have no cap either. Like their cap is like they have no cap. Their roster's terrible.
But next year they're going to get a lot of those players back, right? So a lot of those players opted out that they're going to get back. So to be fair to Bill Belichick, the team is very depleted. It is not what it was last year.
The best player was out too. Stephon Gilmore wasn't there.
Yeah. So, and so as a Jets fan, so I know we're not supposed to hope that they lose, but here's my issue with this. Very rarely, I truly believe, and we all have different opinions, and if you listen to this podcast, I mean, everybody has different opinions on different quarterbacks. I truly believe, and I could be completely wrong because I'm wrong a lot, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a generational talent. And my personal opinion is they don't grow on trees. You get one of those every 10 years. I mean, there's certain quarterbacks where okay, this guy comes in, I mean, he's 6'6". He can move. He's accurate. He can pass. He's a winner. He has every feature that you need. And he's like one of those, my personal opinion is I feel like he's a Manning type guy where he's just going to go and just dominate. And so, these type of quarterbacks, don't, as I said, every 10 years. So we could get, we lose on him. We could get the first pick on the next 10 years and still not get a quarterback like him. You don't know all these quarterbacks. You do one season. Even Burrow, right? We're having this conversation.
That he was a risky.
He was risky. I mean, yes, he was awesome last year, but he really had 1 year of awesomeness, right? And then we don't know. So you're going on. I mean, he wasn't even a starter for 2 to 3 years, and then he was okay the year before. He was good.
3 years.
He was okay the year before. He was good, but he wasn't great. And then he just had that 1 year. So it's still most of these quarterbacks. You get 1 or 2 years of a resume, and we kind of put them up the charts. And to me, it's so rare to get a quarterback like this that, and so let's say we won. I mean, honestly, who cares if we beat the Patriots? First of all, the Patriots stink. So it's like okay, one thing I was telling you, if the Patriots were, the best team in the NFL, so you can brag. Okay, so what? You beat the Patriots, and so now we lose the draft pick because here's the problem. Okay, Jacksonville has only one win, and Jacksonville has a hard schedule,
Very difficult.
and I don't know how many. Are they going to get 2 wins, 3 wins?
Personally, the only win I could see them getting as of now is Chicago.
And
Chicago's falling apart right now.
And I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, they got to go 0-16 and punish Gase. I don't really care about that. Here's what I care about: that they end up with the number 1 draft pick and we get Trevor Lawrence. I don't care if they're. I was telling you, I don't care if they're 8-8 and every other team is 9-7. Then we get right. I don't care how many wins we are. I only care about getting the first pick. I guess if we get the second pick, Fields, we'll see how good he is.
The more I learn about Fields, I will say he grows on me more and more.
Listen. Would I cry if we got him? No.
I'd rather get Lawrence, but I'd be very happy with Fields. I looked at it. I don't know why Fields is. I feel like because of how hyped up Trevor Lawrence is, Fields kind of gets pushed under the rug. When you look at this guy's stats, they're amazing.
This reminds me of exactly like
Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf.
No. Drew Luck. No.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck and
RG3.
RG3. All right. Drew, he was the kind of like that. He was a generational talent. He was dominant. He had the similar style. And then we had RG3, which was more of a runner at the time, and all that type of stuff. And he went and he kind of came out of nowhere land, RG3. Kind of like, Fields.
But Justin Fields didn't. That's the thing. Everyone thinks that. They don't realize that. In prospects, they both came out the same year. Lawrence was, I'm pretty sure, the second overall recruit that year. Guess who was 3? Fields. They had a thing. Who was the best recruit coming out of high school, of all time? Lawrence was, I'm pretty sure, 6th. Fields was 8th. Yeah. So he's right behind him. And his stats are just as good, if not a bit better. So I think because of how hyped up Lawrence is, Fields gets swiped under the rug, but Fields is actually a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he's phenomenal. He can run too.
I would not, yes, as I said, I would be happy with one. And to be honest, as long as we're listen, as I said, right now we're in the driver's seat, right? And Jacksonville is in the passenger seat. And any point in time, because we have the harder record, remember, we have the harder record. So if the Jets tie with Jacksonville, we automatically get the second pick. And I feel confident that both New York Jets and Jacksonville are going to be 1 and 2. I mean, they are really much worse than all the teams that even have two games. Like the Giants, these are better teams, except for Dallas. I'm not sure about Dallas.
Dallas is very bad.
Yeah, I mean, I know they did really well against Pittsburgh, right?
They didn't do really well. They did okay.
Yeah.
I think it was more of Pittsburgh playing bad than the Cowboys playing good.
But they may win a game or 2 more. But I really feel confident that it's going to end up being the Jets and Jacksonville as a 1-2, and that's going to be the quarterbacks. But anyway, and then Flacco looked pretty good for that hurts Darnold's value because honestly he looked good. He floundered in the last quarter, but for 3 quarters, 2.5 to 3 quarters, he looked much better on that offense than Darnold did, which does not look good for Darnold, which affects our draft picks too, because if he doesn't look good, who's going to want him?
Well, I want to use an analogy for this game.
Uh-oh.
Right? A lot of people say I'm terrible at analogies, but I think this one's good. All my friends, whenever I use an analogy, they always say, "You're terrible at analogies, Eli." They always make fun of me for it. But I think this one's quite good.
Okay, try it. No.
If we lose the battle, yet we're going to win the war. People want us to beat the Patriots. Yeah, it's nice to beat the Patriots. Okay, we win the battle. Guess what? We don't get Lawrence. We lose the war.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. So I think there's just two different people in this world, and some people want instant gratification, and some people are more just long haul. I'm just a long haul type guy. I like to look 2-3 years ahead and where we're going to be. And yes, the instant gratification would be to beat the Patriots. Wonderful. But the long term, it hurts us.
Well, you're happy for 2 days versus having a franchise quarterback for the next 15 years.
And the thing is, and I'll tell you, and here's very important too, which we got to remember. If the Jets do not get a quarterback, the Jets are not getting a coach. Because right now, the Jets, talent-wise, is pretty... if you're going to get a big-time coach, as I said, I'm rooting for Jim Harbaugh. You don't like that. We'll have another...
I really don't
That'll be another conversation for us. But
you should film this after.
Yeah.
Put it out tomorrow or something.
But anyway, so if there's not a dominant... I mean, why would a coach come here? Why would a good coach... So if we have no quarterback, or Darnold's our starting quarterback, or maybe you get some other guy like Lance or whatever, or somebody who's questionable, and the team is not that good, you're not going to get a good coach. But if you have...
Harbaugh isn't a good coach.
All right, we're gonna talk about that another time. But if if you have Fields or Lawrence, okay, that's like, okay, you're like, all right, a coach, a Jim Harbaugh.
Not a Jim Harbaugh. I don't want Jim Harbaugh anywhere near this team.
Well, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
We'll do another podcast.
We're going to that. We're just gonna not.
We'll talk about another podcast. But if you have like I'm starting off with Trevor Lawrence as my quarterback, and now we got a couple of first round picks, and we'll see what he does, and some free agency. We spend some money. I mean, it could be really an appealing job. But if we win 3 or 4 games, now listen, we're 0-9. Right, so I mean,
that would be going more than 500.
Yeah, that'd be almost going 50. Right, there's 7 games left, so we're in 3 and 4. It's not 500 yet, but it's close to 500. And
I thought you said 4, so that would be.
No,
4
we're not. We're definitely at best, right? Let's say at best, if you go 2 and 5.
I don't think we can go better than 2 and 14. I think that's the ceiling right now.
Yes. So the issue is I need Jacksonville to win 2 more games.
For comfort, yes. Will they? Most likely not. But I want to use a play. I remember this last night of why I think Belichick is losing it. So the clock was running down. He had a timeout left, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got a big chunk of yards to get in field goal range. They wanted to use one more play to get deeper into range.
Yes.
They spiked the ball and saved their timeout so they can go in the middle of the field instead of using the timeout, then spiking the ball next. You don't spike the ball until you use the rest of your timeouts. Cause it ended up working out for them because they got a lucky play for 20-something yards deep because Pierre Desir can't cover for his life.
Yes.
But you shouldn't do that. You should not.
It was risky. It was
risky. Very risky.
You're talking about at the end of the game when they only had 8 seconds left.
Yeah, and then they to use that time, you spike, you use because that drowned in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, and they were too far out with a field goal.
Yeah.
In fact, they had to get up 20 yards to get a 51-yard field goal.
Because if they didn't get it, if they did not get that, if they didn't get that big 20 yards, they lose the game.
They didn't lose the game. They were going to overtime.
They didn't. No, I'm saying if they never got that. Oh yeah, they would go to overtime.
That's the thing. They went to overtime. So they were like, you know what? Worst comes to worst, we go to overtime. I think that's was his. If we get lucky, they threw one more pass. They got down. They tried the 51-yard.
I didn't like that though. I thought you.
Yes,
you shouldn't do that. I thought that was a very questionable decision.
But
I mean, it ended up working out for them because the Jets' secondary is
anyway. So
like,
it was
terrible.
it was a very exciting game. I guess I honestly
enjoyed the game actually.
I mean, it's funny because just one more thing. It's funny when the season first started, we started losing games. I was like, oh, we're not that good. Like I wasn't sure. I mean, I said, I was optimistic, like as any fan would be. I'm optimistic, and then we started losing them, and we're getting killed. I'm like, oh, we're bad. You know what? Let's go for Trevor Lawrence. And then a lot of fans were like, no, let's win some and all that type of stuff. And tanking is horrible. And I don't think you tank. I mean, listen, I don't think any NFL team tanks. So fans, we want tanking because we want to get the pick. But I was kind of on the side. Listen, let's just lose and let's get Trevor Lawrence. And a lot of fans initially were kind of like, yeah, but I don't want to. I want to win some games and taking some not worth it and all that type of stuff. And now I'm reading all the kind of comments and kind of things, and you could see all the Jets fans kind of going the other way.
Over the past 2 weeks,
they're kind of finally shifting. They're saying, you know what, we want Lawrence. Let's lose. And they were kind of like, usually would be outraged that they lost to the Patriots, but you can kind of sense from the Jets fans where
everyone's happy.
I'm not happy.
No, I saw something on social media where the Jets Twitter I think tweeted out the game score or whatever when they were leading at halftime, and all the fans were like, "What are you doing to us?"
You know what?
Lose.
Here's the thing: as a Jets fan for many more years than you, they always
win stupid games.
Yes, we're like, we always do something. We're a very tough fan base. We always get kind of, punched in the face with the Jets. They'll win these stupid games, and it just throws us all back, and it kills everything. And we're like, why? So this was I don't know what I'm talking about.
Before we end this podcast, I just want to quickly say that I've been on the tank for Lawrence bandwagon for about 1.5 years. Mid-season last year, I said, I don't like Sam Darnold. Lawrence is coming out next year. Let's lose. I don't think we're going to be that bad. Guess what? We're that bad.
No, we're bad.
I am like a genie. Okay. I predict the future.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. This is Jarrett.
And this is Eli.
And this is Sports Jabber with the Lefties.
And if you guys enjoy our content, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment down below topics for future podcasts. And if you have friends or family who care about the Jets or just sports in general, go ahead and share our channel to them.